let me ask you something that might make you blush for just a second. Have you ever wondered what runs through a man's mind when he pictures you naked in the shower? Because let me tell you, if you think he's just imagining you scrubbing shampoo into your hair and rinsing off, oh no, sweetheart, you're underestimating the male imagination. Men don't just think about water running down your body. They imagine scenarios, fantasies, and moments that make their heart race and their body ache with desire. And today, I'm about to pull back the curtain and reveal 5 very real, very raw things he imagines doing to you when he pictures you in the shower. Now, here's why this matters. Attraction isn't just about looks. It's not just about your body. It's about the way you make him feel. Men use fantasies to heighten their desire for you, to create emotional and sensual bonds in their own minds before they even get the chance to touch you. If you've ever caught him staring at you while you walk out of the bathroom in just a towel, trust me, he's already played out these shower scenarios in his head more times than he'll ever admit. And when you understand what these fantasies are, you suddenly gain the power to step into them, to feed them, and to use them to build an unbreakable connection with him that goes beyond sex. It touches his obsession. So let's dive in. The first thing he imagines doing to you in the shower is watching the water slide down your skin and not being able to keep his hands off you. See, men are visual creatures. The sight of water dripping down your neck, running between your breasts, flowing down your thighs, it's intoxicating. It's not just about the nudity, it's about the combination of your vulnerability and your power in that moment. You're bare, but you're glowing. You're natural, but you're untouchable. And in his fantasy, he can't resist stepping forward, running his hands through the water on your skin, tracing every curve, every dip, every inch of you. For him, that moment is electric because it's like nature itself is seducing him through you. The water becomes his rival. It touches you everywhere, and he wants to claim that place instead. But here's the secret. It's not just about his desire to touch. It's about his desire to be allowed to. He imagines that you let him in, that you lean into his touch, that you respond with just as much hunger. This fantasy is primal. It's not about dominance or control. It's about intimacy, the closeness, the press of skin to wet skin. The way your body feels when it's slick, warm, and receptive under his hands. That's the fantasy he replays. That's the one that keeps him awake at night. Now, the second thing he imagines doing is far more dangerous in the best way, pinning you against the shower wall. You see, the shower is not just a place of cleansing, it's a place of confinement. The steam, the tiles, the water rushing, it creates this charged, enclosed space where every movement, every moan, every kiss feels amplified. In his mind, he doesn't just want to step into the shower with you, he wants to take control. He wants to trap you between his body and the wall, feel your breath quicken, and hear the sound of your gasp echoing off the tiles. Why? Because this fantasy is about surrender. It's about your willingness to give in to the moment, to let go of everything else, the stress, the hesitation, the world outside, and just let him have you. And let me tell you something, when a man imagines this, he's not imagining you resisting. He's imagining you melting. He's picturing your legs wrapping around his hips, your nails dragging down his back, your lips begging for more even as the water cascades between your bodies. It's messy, it's wet, it's raw, and that's exactly why he craves it, because it feels like passion unleashed, desire that can't be held back. But here's the twist most women don't realize. In that fantasy, he's not just chasing pleasure, he's chasing your reaction, the sound of your moan, the way your body arches, the way your eyes glaze over with that mix of lust and surrender. That's what drives him. That's what makes him want you over and over again. Now, some of you might be wondering, why does the shower specifically show up so much in male fantasies? Simple, it's the mix of innocence and naughtiness. The shower is supposed to be this normal, everyday, private thing. You get in, you get clean, you get out. But when he imagines being there with you, he's turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. He's taking a daily ritual and transforming it into the most erotic memory his mind can conjure. And that, my friend, is the secret to fantasy. It's not about extravagance, it's about intimacy in places you never expect. Now we've covered 2 of the 5 things he imagines. 1, the irresistible sight of water running down your body and his hands following its path. 2, pinning you against the shower wall, taking you in the heat of the moment. And trust me, we've only just scratched the surface, because the next 3, they reveal sides of his mind and desire that will shock you. These aren't just lustful thoughts, they're windows into how deeply he wants you, how much he craves not just your body but your essence. And when you understand these fantasies, you'll start to see him differently. You'll realize that what he imagines doing to you in the shower says far more about his heart than it does about his hormones. Because in his most vulnerable, secret moments, when no one is watching, these are the visions that keep him addicted to you. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The shower fantasy isn't just about water and skin, it's about closeness, about the chance to be both raw and playful without judgment. See, men often imagine moments that strip away the ordinary. We're used to routines, brushing teeth, shaving, rushing out the door. But when he pictures you in the shower, he's not thinking about routine. He's thinking about breaking it. He imagines walking in on you, catching you off guard, but in the most exciting way, because that surprise creates a spark of spontaneity, and spontaneity to a man feels like raw chemistry set on fire. Now, let me take you into one of the most common yet deeply powerful images he plays in his mind washing you. Yes, simple, right? But think about it from his perspective. Men aren't often given the chance to nurture in an intimate way. Society doesn't really teach men how to be caretakers in the romantic sense. But in this fantasy, he gets to run his hands down your shoulders, letting the water cascade as he lathers soap across your skin. It's not just sensual, it's deeply connecting. Because in that act, he's not only touching you, he's taking care of you, making you feel indulged, adored, and feminine in the most primal sense. And for him, that ignites something far deeper than lust. It hits his instinct to protect and cherish. That's why this fantasy is so addictive to him. The second thing he imagines, pressing you against the wall. This one is primal. It's not about tenderness, it's about the rawness of desire. When a man thinks about pulling you into that shower wall, he's picturing himself as the one who takes complete control. The slippery skin, the hot water splashing between you, it amplifies the sensation of dominance and surrender. He imagines you arching back, breathless, your body yielding while his is firm and commanding. That fantasy doesn't come from a place of aggression. It comes from his need to feel like the man who excites you so much that you can't resist giving in. For him, that wall moment is symbolic. It's about passion so strong that it can't wait. And if you think that's not powerful to him, think again. It's the very scene that replays when he wants to remember what desire should feel like. The third thought he has in that shower fantasy, your hair. Yes, your hair! You might not realize this, but to a man, seeing your hair wet, sticking to your skin, cascading down your back, is insanely erotic. He imagines running his hands through it, tugging it lightly, or even just watching the way droplets slide from your strands onto your chest. It's art to him. You become this living, breathing, wet sculpture that he can't stop admiring. And in that admiration, he feels worship. He feels like he's witnessing beauty in its rawest form, unfiltered, vulnerable, and utterly intoxicating. When he fantasizes about your hair in the shower, it's not just visual, it's tactile. He imagines the slick texture, the smell of your shampoo, the way it gets in his hands as he grabs you closer. It's detail like this that men rarely admit, but often play out vividly in their minds. Let's move to the fourth thing, water play. This one is where his imagination runs wild because the shower isn't just a backdrop, it's an active participant. He imagines turning the spray onto you, teasing your body with streams of hot water while watching your reactions. He might picture holding the shower head close to your skin, letting it trail along your thighs, your stomach, your chest, testing where you shiver, where you gasp. In his fantasy, he's in control of the water, but more importantly, he's in control of your sensations. It's like he's conducting an orchestra of moans, smiles, and goosebumps. And that feeds his ego in the most primal way, knowing he can elicit those reactions with something as simple as water. It's experimental, playful, and deeply erotic. And then comes the fifth fantasy, the one that ties it all together, pure, unfiltered eye contact. This might surprise you, because when people think about shower fantasies, assume it's all about bodies colliding. But men also imagine moments of stillness within the chaos. He fantasizes about pinning you close, with water pouring down, both of you drenched yet locked in that stare. Because in that look, there's intensity beyond words. It's raw, it's primal, and it says you're mine right now. That kind of moment is what makes him feel truly connected to you, not just physically, but emotionally. The eye contact under the shower is his way of blending lust with love. And whether he admits it or not, that's the part of the fantasy that lingers in his chest long after the daydream fades. Now, here's where I need you to pay attention. all 5 of these fantasies, washing you, pressing you against the wall, your hair, the water play, and that deep eye contact, aren't just things he imagines. They're expressions of what men crave but don't always articulate: closeness, vulnerability, dominance, admiration, and connection. These 5 layers aren't random. They're his subconscious mapping out what he wants in intimacy, what he wishes could break out of routine, and what he silently hopes you'll one day give him permission to live out. So let me ask you, are you willing to let him live those fantasies with you? Because when you do, you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him an unforgettable memory. And memories like that, they're what make a man come back again and again, not just to your body, but to you. Now let's go even deeper, because the third thing he imagines isn't just about playfulness or passion. It's about surrender. See, when a man pictures you in the shower, one of the most intoxicating scenarios for him is imagining you letting go completely while he takes control. This isn't about dominance in the cliché over the top way movies sometimes portray. No, it's about the sensual art of taking charge in an environment where every sense is heightened. He imagines leaning in, turning your face towards his, and watching the water slide down your skin as you close your eyes, trusting him to lead the moment. For a man, this vision isn't just physical, it's deeply psychological. Because what drives him crazy is not just your body in front of him, but the fact that you're allowing him to be the one who creates this experience for you. You're letting him explore, guide, and awaken sensations while you surrender into the moment. That kind of trust is rare, and when he imagines it, it lights up something primal inside him. But here's the secret that most women don't realize: this image isn't about control, it's about intimacy. It's about him imagining the electricity of you giving him permission to be bold. Picture this: he imagines pinning your hands lightly against the shower wall, not roughly, but with just enough firmness to make you feel held. The sound of the water masks everything else, so it's just the two of you in your own hidden world. He imagines the closeness, the taste of water on your lips, the feel of your breath quickening under his touch. It's not about being forceful. It's about creating a dance where he leads and you melt into the rhythm of it. That image sends him spiraling into desire, because in his mind, it's the ultimate expression of being trusted with your vulnerability. And here's what most people overlook: the shower itself adds layers to this fantasy. The warmth of the water becomes a shield, a cocoon. It strips away the rest of the world and creates a secret escape. When he imagines you there, pressed close, he's not just thinking about physical closeness, he's imagining emotional safety. He's thinking, she trusts me enough to let me hold her like this, to let me explore her in this space. And that thought, more than anything, amplifies his attraction to you. It's not the position, it's not the mechanics, it's the emotional weight of the image. That's why these fantasies stay with him long after the thought passes. Let's go deeper into the psychology of it. Men often get painted as purely physical creatures, and yes, there's truth to that. But what most people miss is how much the emotional context amplifies. Add a twist here, because this is where things get really interesting. In many of his fantasies, he doesn't stop at just holding you. He imagines the little ways he can make you feel overwhelmed with pleasure, the way he can mix tenderness with intensity. He imagines your back arching against the cold tile as his lips trace down your wet skin, the sound of the water blending with your soft gasps. He imagines teasing you, making you beg for more, dragging out the moment until you're completely lost in it. And here's the kicker in his mind: what makes this so intoxicating is not just the thrill of your body, but the satisfaction of knowing he's the one who can take you there. He imagines your body responding, your voice trembling, your legs shaking, and in his fantasy, that's confirmation of his power to unlock your deepest desires. And ladies, let me be real with you for a second. When a man imagines this, he's not just daydreaming about lust, he's also fantasizing about what it feels like to be enough for you. He wants to be the man who can both ravish you and protect you in the same breath. The shower fantasy becomes the perfect stage for this, because it combines primal physicality with total vulnerability. You're naked, wet, slippery, with nowhere to hide. And in his mind, you're not resisting, you're not covering yourself, you're embracing it. That's the part that makes him crave you even more, the thought that you would choose to give yourself to him without hesitation. Now let me tie this back to you, because it's not just about what he imagines, it's about how you can use this knowledge. When you understand the psychology behind his shower fantasies, you realize that what he craves most isn't the position, the steam, or even the nudity. It's the feeling of you letting him in. That means in real life, you don't have to create the perfect fantasy setup to make him feel this way. You don't need marble tiles or candlelit showers. What you need is the ability to let him feel that same rush of trust and surrender, even outside of the bathroom. When you let him guide sometimes, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable with him, when you show him that he's the one you feel safe letting go with, that's when you take his breath away. And here's the powerful truth men remember, the women who let them feel like this. They remember the moments where they weren't just desired but trusted, where they weren't just lovers but protectors, leaders and partners in passion. That's why this shower fantasy is so much more than just sex. It's a metaphor for how men think about intimacy. He doesn't just want to take your body, he wants to take responsibility for your pleasure, your trust, your surrender. And when you give him that, even just in small, symbolic ways, you'll drive him crazy in ways no one else can. So the next time you hear about men and their fantasies, don't roll your eyes or dismiss it as just another sexual thing. Understand that behind every image of a steamy shower makeout, behind every fantasy of pinning you against the wall, is a man secretly longing for connection. He's not just imagining your body, he's imagining your trust. And when you can give him that balance of passion and vulnerability, you'll have him hooked. Not just in the shower, but everywhere. And here's the truth I want you to take away from all of this. The shower is just a symbol. It's a metaphor for intimacy in its rawest, most unpolished form. When he pictures you there, it's not only about lust, though lust is definitely part of it. It's about seeing you without the armor, without the performance, without the filters. He imagines the closeness, the heat, the raw energy of being next to you in a space where everything else is stripped away. That's the reason these fantasies are so powerful. They're not just about the act, they're about the feeling it creates. He wants to feel primal with you, but he also wants to feel connected, almost like he's found a way into your secret world. So the next time you step into that shower, think about this. To him, it's not just you rinsing your hair or lathering soap, it's a fantasy that makes his chest tighten, his pulse race, and his imagination go wild. And if you ever choose to let him into that fantasy, even in small ways, like sending a playful text, teasing him about what he'd do if he were in there, or one day actually inviting him into that steamy world, you'll see his entire energy toward you shift. Because suddenly, what was once a fantasy becomes a memory he'll crave over and over again. Here's my challenge to you: don't underestimate the little moments. Don't brush off his fantasies as just sex, because inside those fantasies are his deepest cravings for intimacy, closeness, and adventure with you. Tap into them, lean into them, and you'll not only send him crazy in the shower, but everywhere else too. If this opened your eyes to what men secretly think and crave, don't let this be the last time we talk. Hit that subscribe button right now and join me for even more raw, unfiltered truths about love, attraction, and intimacy. Every week I'll give you the tools to not just understand him, but to make him obsessed with you in ways that go far beyond the bedroom. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and let's make you the woman he can't stop imagining, desiring, and chasing.